Wilson, I'm ready to go here. Let's get the day started. Busy day, 37 degrees downtown. Here's a look at First News. It's fair, it's accurate. You get the damn truth. New York City's police commissioner said the gun that was found on the suspect of killing of United Healthcare CEO matches shell casings found at the crime scene. They also said lab results matched Luigi Mangione's prints with the water bottle and a snack bar wrapper that was also found at the scene. Police had said earlier they believed the gunman had bought those at a nearby coffee shop. They got a picture of him there as well. He's jailed in Pennsylvania, weapon forgery charges. Been charged in New York with murder in Brian Thompson's death. Pentagon yesterday said Russia now is moving and could launch their new lethal intermediate-range ballistic missiles in against Ukraine soon. U.S. intelligence assessment said the attack could come in the coming days. The U.S. does not consider the missile a game changer on the battlefield. Russia's using the weapon to intimidate Ukraine on both sides as they wrestle for advantage. The Russian Defense Ministry also is warning they may retaliate against Kiev or attack on military base in Rostov region of Russia on Wednesday. Biden administration promised another $1 billion of new weaponry, munitions, and air defense in the Ukraine yesterday. Joe Biden has opened up the door now in the war against Putin and Russia with only 30-some days left as president, creating as much havoc for the new president-elect that he possibly can. Trump has called on ceasefire immediately to stop the killing, stop the fighting. Biden and Blinken continue to escalate their efforts against Russia. Joe Biden yesterday commuted the sentences for 1,500 people and pardoned 39 more. It's the largest single-day act of clemency in modern-day history. No one has ever commuted the sentence of that many people before. The old record was 330 by Barack Obama in 2017. Yesterday, Biden commuted 1,500 people, all put in front of him by his Democrat staff and leaders of the party, and 39 more pardons. And folks said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's more coming. President-elect Donald Trump will be back in his hometown in New York today. He's going to be honored as Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And he's also going to ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange today. The events will also measure his remarkable political comeback. He's gone from ostracized former president to being one of the most popular ones ever. Won his decisive victory in November, won all the swing states. It's amazing, really, the comeback story. They tried to break him. They tried to imprison him. They tried to kill him. He'll be honored today at the stock exchange. By the way, he's still working, putting people in place, putting his cabinet in place. He's going to pick Kari Lake as director of Voice of America. She ran unsuccessfully for governor in Arizona and a Senate seat, very close race in Arizona. He's also announced that Leandro Rizzuto will be his choice to be U.S. ambassador to the Washington-based Organization of American States. A few others he's putting in there. Florida personal injury attorney Dan Newland, U.S. ambassador to Colombia. Physician and donor Peter Lamelas is his pick for ambassador to Argentina, as he wants to hit the ground running, folks, on January the 20th. One person that may be pardoned down the road is FBI Director Christopher Wray. Yesterday announced he's going to resign on January 20th after Donald Trump has nominated Kash Patel to lead the FBI. The resignation will bring him 3 shorts of the completion of his 10-year term. Trump applauded the news Wednesday, saying this will start ending the weaponization of what he calls the Department of Injustice. New people in the DOJ, FBI, Secret Service, Homeland Security, FEMA, already trying to turn things around on that day. Cooler temperatures yesterday, calmer winds, and even some rainfall in Southern California helping firefighters. The Franklin Fire, which has driven thousands from their homes in Malibu. The weather improved so much Wednesday, meteorologists said all red flag warnings were discontinued. The conditions allowed firefighters to have a lot of success in some of this inaccessible terrain. Still, some 20,000 residents are under evacuation warnings from that fire. It's about 7% contained. It's burned about 3,500 acres in California. And the large, mysterious drones that have been flying over New Jersey since November and avoiding detection by our traditional methods, like helicopters, radio waves, radar, according to a state lawmaker. An Post Assemblyman Don Fantasia described the drones as 6 feet in diameter, traveling with their lights switched off sometimes. Several state, local lawmakers met with state police, Homeland Security to discuss these sightings in the New York City, New Jersey area. These devices do not appear to be being flown by hobbyists. Dozens of flights started last month. People were wondering, what is it? Where are they coming from? Why are they going up at night? Why and where are they landing? Why are they in airspace used by the airplanes throughout New Jersey and New York? Governor Phil Murphy has stressed the drones don't appear to threaten public safety. The FBI's been investigating. They asked residents to share any videos, photos, or the information that they have. That they have? You want the residents to figure out where they're coming from and what they're doing, not our FBI? Folks are not telling us. They're just not telling us. A Coast Guard officer was briefed on the incident over the weekend where a dozen drones were following a Coast Guard ship out into the bay. Aircraft weren't perceived as immediate threats. Our Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, he's called for military help dealing with the drones. We have an Air Force base up there. He wants to identify and take down any unauthorized aerial systems around the area, but they haven't. He said it's something they're taking seriously, but they continue to fly. Every day, they're spotting them there. Homeland Security, Mayorkas, what has he said? He's in charge. Oh, not much. They haven't given any comment yet from the Department of Homeland Security. Presidential spokesman, press secretary, they're blowing it off, raising concern with a lot of people in that area. New Jersey also considering charging fees on producers of fossil fuels to fight climate change. Yeah, the bill in New Jersey wants to create a climate super fund, money that they can pilfer from oil, gas companies, you name it, to fund their climate change agenda in New Jersey. New Jersey also wants to drastically reduce the amount of plastics and other packaging that's being tossed out. And among the packaging, bubble wrap, air-filled plastic pockets, and these foam peanuts that people use in packaging. A bill is awaiting signature in New Jersey would require all materials that are used in the state to be compostable by 2034. No more materials in New Jersey unless they're compostable. Nothing. No plastics. Nothing. What the hell are you going to use in medical devices and things like that? No plastics up there. Folks, we do not have a plastic problem.
Right.
We have a littering and pollution problem. That's the problem. And a recycling problem as well. We don't do as much as we should. World shares were mixed on Wall Street so far this morning. Chinese shares were up. Leaders are meeting to discuss the economic plans. S&P 500 was up. Dow futures up this morning. Big tech stocks drove NASDAQ up yesterday 1.8%. In fact, it went over the 20,000 level for the first time. Yesterday, the S&P up 49 points. The Dow was down 99, but NASDAQ was up 357 points. Albertson fell 1.5% yesterday. Why? Because they're suing now Kroger. We were trying to see if they could get the largest U.S. supermarket merger history together, and it crumbled Wednesday. Albertsons pulled out of the deal. Albertsons said they filed a lawsuit against Kroger. They want a $600 million termination fee and billions of dollars in legal fees and lost shareholder value because the merger didn't go through. Kroger said the claims are baseless and Albertsons not entitled to the fee. So it's kind of like a good marriage. They were both loving each other, wanted the merger, couldn't wait to expand, get together, and now they broke up and one's going after the other one. We'll see what happens. Senate Democrats yesterday, they failed in their bid to confirm a member of the National Labor Relations Board. Razor-thin vote. Why? Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema of Arizona didn't vote for their nominee. If that nomination had been successful, that board, that National Labor Relations Board, would have been led by Democrats. Instead, President-elect Trump will now have a chance to nominate the replacement on that board. Arizona's Attorney General Chris Mays suing a Saudi Arabian agribusiness because of what they call excessive pumping of groundwater. Yeah, the Saudis own an alfalfa farm there in western Arizona. Said they're taking too much water. Them damn irrigated guys. Wilson?
Even down there.
Even in Arizona. Taking more water than they should get. Told you yesterday inflation was up. So-called core prices of inflation increased 3.3%. They knew it was increasing, folks, prior to the election. They didn't let you know. Everybody's ridiculing and criticizing President Trump about his tariffs. You know what the Biden administration did yesterday? They announced they're raising tariffs on solar waffles, polysilicon, and tungsten products coming in from China. That's right, raising the tariffs on them yesterday. They'll go up to 50% on some of those items. Why did he wait 38 days before he's out to raise tariffs on China? Well, once again, create as much havoc and screw things up as much as you possibly can before you leave office in 39 days. A big loss for parents in Montana yesterday. The Supreme Court continuing to block the law that was going to ban gender-affirming medical care for minors without parental consent. Justices yesterday on the Montana Supreme Court, in a unanimous ruling, 9-0, said the judge was correct in saying the law was unconstitutional. The judge, Jason Marks, found the law banning this gender-affirming care, surgeries, hormones, would harm the physical health of minors. The state argued the law was meant to protect minors. In fact, 26 states around the country have enacted such laws, but not here. Our Supreme Court heard arguments earlier on it because Montana's constitutional protections, they say, are stronger than federal ones. Youth in Montana can sleep easy tonight knowing that you can continue to thrive for now, according to Cal Olson, an attorney for this institution that brought this suit. Yes, folks, your 8 and 9-year-olds can now sleep easy, knowing that if they want to have transitional surgeries done to their bodies, they can do so and their parents can't stop them. Isn't that something? They tried to block the law, but the Supreme Court overruled them. There are legislators who are totally upset with this in Montana because of what the legislature decided to do, that they'll be able now to mutilate and disfigure and do other things to their bodies at such a young age. Also comes into question the question of parental rights, folks. What constitutional rights do you now have as a parent when it comes to your medical decisions? New for the holidays, Apple is out with their latest new iPhone, and they are pumping more artificial intelligence into it. It comes in the form of a free software update that includes a feature that will enable a user to customize an emoji with a matter of seconds. In case you can't pick one from the 10,000 of them that are in there, Mark, already.
Paul and I were just talking about this the other day.
And you know what? You know there's kids that know all those emojis?
Oh, yeah.
All of them. All the way through there. They know all of them. Well, now you'll be able to create one in a matter of seconds with their new AI system after Samsung and Google began implementing that in their devices. The update builds upon another one that came out in October. It's just the latest round of AI tricks, including Genmojis, Apple's description of the emojis that you'll be able to ask the technology to create for you and share. Can you imagine what kids are going to ask that AI service to create? Hey, I want an emoji of a guy picking his nose with a booger on his finger. I want to send it to my... You can only imagine what they're going to create, Mark, with that feature now. And finally, fewer grandparents are living and taking care of their grandchildren. There was a decline in young children going to preschool, and more people stayed put in their homes during the first part of the 2020s compared to the last decade, according to the Census Bureau. Comprehensive survey of American life, survey of 3.5 million households. They asked different things, 40 topics: ancestry, fertility, marital status, all that kind of stuff. The decrease in grandparents taking care of their grandchildren, they said, is most likely the result of a decline in opioid-related deaths during that time frame. And substance abuse was one of the leading reasons why grandparents found themselves raising their grandchildren, because their loser kids went out and got hooked on cocaine, like Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
And so they had to raise the children. They had to take care of the family. They had to take care of the kids. Stronger economy, they said, that didn't happen, could be the reason why it was down. 7.2 million grandkids, though, are still living in America with their grandkids. Some other things from the survey: Americans are getting older. The median age in America is now 38.7. It was 37.9. The nation's share of senior citizens is up 16.8%. This is the baby boomers all coming into that age. The share of households with a computer now, 95% of all homes in America have a computer compared to where it was 10 years ago. Home values have increased 21.7%. The median home value is now $303,400, like the one up here on 27th that needs paint by Hardee's. That's worth $386, but and in some vacation communities, popular with the wealthy, the bump was even more dramatic in value. For instance, in Aspen, Colorado, the average value of a home, it went from $758,000 to $1.1 million there. And Martha's Vineyard, where President Barack Obama has a home, the average cost is $1.1 million. And so the average price of a home has gone up over the last 10 years, too. Cat Country News Time is 6:50. We'll check weather next.
We had some company, so we had to stop there. I was watching the thing. There was a call made last night at the end of the Warriors game, scrambling for a loose ball, and they called a foul on the Warriors. And Steve Kerr had never seen anything like that, and that was the story. But what got me is that means the Warriors fall in the NBA Cup. I was such a sports fan growing up, and I watched all these sports, and I knew the majority of the players. I knew all the rules. I don't know what the NBA Cup is.
Oh, this is that new midseason tournament they're trying?
Right. So
yeah, I don't get that
all
either.
the games still count towards the playoffs and the regular championship and that kind of stuff. But there's a midseason cup in Vegas. I've thought about that when I was watching the Rams and Bills play the other night because the kickoffs are different now. And
yeah, I don't like that kickoff thing.
It's a man's game. Let them run at each other.
God, you guys. Monopoly rules have been in place since the 20s.
Right.
You can still play Monopoly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 38 degrees today. That's about it. Except for today, looks like we're going to see a little more sun. We haven't had much sun the last 4 or 5 days.
Nope.
Going to get a little more sun today. Tomorrow, warm up to the upper 40s, 47. So that's good. That's way above average. Right now, it's 37 degrees out there at 6:52. And that's what's happening. Mark and Paul here together. Thanks for tuning into The Cat.